Goodness me, what happened then? Wow. That was quite funny, that. I just sort of looked away and looked at, wow. Good afternoon, everybody. I am a little bit tardy today. I've had so much to do, so I thought, why can't I see this big? Oh, I know why. So I thought, oh, it's done my head in. It really has done my head in, because I've had to run around and then I couldn't get back. And I normally like to chill before I do this. So yeah, it's been a bit of a nightmare, but I've got loads done. Hi Louise, hi Philippa, hi Karen. I'm doing all right, mate. Hi Liz, hi Sue, hi Louise, hi Linda, Julie, hi Kim, hi Kath, hey, hi Denise. Oh yeah, I feel like that. I've just worked so hard this morning because I'm chauffeuring. It does, you know, you've got to do what you're going to do for your family, but it's sort of like, you know, an hour out of your day isn't an hour out of your day. It's all the time before and after, but not in a bad way. I could never say that, because I'm not saying that at all. So I'm going to do some, and I couldn't get back to you, Philippa, because I've just read this second message. So, you know, to say, getting back to you, it was like, I couldn't. Anyway, I am a big fan of Egyptian work, and I'm a big fan. I love these muted colours, because I think this is really reflective at the moment, because, not going into detail, but you know how after you know, a lot of things have happened, and you sort of, you're on sort of pins, aren't you? And it's a really difficult thing to sort of get your head around. So you need to sort of I think it's like you get the bends, don't you? I'm not saying I'm a diver at all, but I'm a skip diver, but I'm not a deep sea diver. Mind you, sometimes when you're getting out of skips, you've got to acclimatise, you know what I mean? Skips can be a bit evil, and I do skip dive. I'm not happy about that. So if you're doing it in a posh area, you call it skip surfing, but it's skip diving anyway. Hi Janice, hi Elizabeth, hello Susan, hi Jane. Eager beavers, not wrong with that. Not wrong with that. So I really like the idea of this, especially, was really sort of ticking up right boxes for me. But yesterday's did as well. Yesterday's, I've not managed to get any more work done on it, only because I've been so busy. And I say that really, I really have, because I've got some really nice, good. Right, come on. I've only made a mess here. Why can't I find my books? Just explain that I've been working really hard trying to get some information out there for you. Yay, sorry. Minnie! Oh, that hurt. Just whack Minnie. Anyway, shut up, get on with it. So, yeah. So, what was I saying? So I've done no more work on this, but I really, as Philippa said, you know, it's nice to get back to it, isn't it? To do a little bit of mixed media in. And I really do like it. I think I'd perhaps lighten it up now and put some pencil work on, but I feel that I have to leave it to dry naturally sometimes, and then, you know, I'm just going to draw very faintly, and I might use actually, yeah, that's a good one. Oh. So what I would do is, I'm not colouring in, I'm drawing, but I'm drawing with a coloured pencil. so it's not overjarring. And by overjarring I mean it's not too heavy. So just don't forget it's got a bit of gesso on this, so you can rub the, and then you can get the very dark blue and do the same, so that you've got, you know, by the time you're finished, it's very different from yesterday. But this is the best bit, I find, when you start to add your final bits. It all comes together, and just it allows you to finalise things, you know, change the colours, put more detail in, put a little bit more of yourself in, add light and dark. I was still only using the 2 colours, but I'm being quite, I couldn't do this in an hour, and you can't do it when you first dry it either. You've got to wait for it to dry. And I always like to dry it the next day, because I leave it to dry and then work the next day. And you're not dragging the card up or with fibres, and you do get a lovely feel to it. So I'm just going to do that bit, but I'll do that when, like, I want a little bit of a chill time. Get your white on it, and then maybe get your pen and add the details back in. So, just wanted to show you how you can sort of add to it. You may not see much there, but it sort of adds to the final, all of it, the detail. I'd go in with a lot more white. Can you see? It's made a huge difference. And I'd go in with a lot more white. I'd get my metallics on it. I'd do all of them. So that's what I tell you. The other thing I've remembered what I wanted to say is I spent a lot of time going on Facebook and building up what they call a storefront. So a storefront is an Amazon shop where it's got Amazon, but instead of it just having Amazon, it's got a picture of me and like a picture of the work that we do. So there's categories, and I hope this will help you. It takes a lot of work, but it's worth it, because instead of me saying, oh, here's a pen I use, and then having to put a link up, I already have it. So if it says like mixed media work, you click on that list, and it comes up with everything that I use in it. Colour work, and then, you know, watercolours, and it'll come up. It doesn't come up with all of them, it only comes up with the ones that I've tried. Hang on, who's asking me questions? I'll send you the link, Claire. Okay, I'll send you the link. Yeah, so it's like me saying, oh yeah, I've been using coloured pencils. It doesn't rate them. It doesn't say I could do, you know, is my, you know, like Amazon have Best Buyer and all that, but it's not the money part. I'm only going to put on there things. I'll only put on the stuff you use because I don't want to do, well, it's not right, is it? Yes, I've not finished it yet. I'm waiting for my URL or ULR to the shop front, and you'll get it straight away, and it's just, you'll be able to see it straight away. You'll be able to just sort of click on it and then look for individual projects, and then in the future, if I'm going to do a big project, yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't want you to sort of think this is better than our channel. It isn't. It's a different way, because you might not be able to buy individual things. Now, you might only want one colour and monies, but you still want alternative for you. And I do, it's called an affiliate influencer, so I do get a percentage. I think it's 1 or 2% out of it. I don't know, everyone's different, so I don't know, because don't forget, I'm dealing with Amazon, who deal with buyers, so do you know what I mean? It's all legit, it's all there for everyone to see. You've got to have all your tax and insurance and all that blah 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 blah, because they won't let you on it otherwise. But I just thought it'd be a really good step for us forward, so that you can see the things I use. They're not always going to be the best. They'll be the ones that I've used. Okay, so now we've got that. I really enjoyed doing this, but I thought I'd like to do something more meaningful for me. And I like the idea of having the circle, but only at the top and bottom. So I'm just putting the circle so I've got that shape, because I want the shape the top and the bottom, but I don't want the middle. I don't need the sides. You could do sides if you wanted. I had a lovely chat with Kathy's today. That really cheered me up, to know how much support you're giving me about all the bad stuff that's been going on, and I really appreciate it. I've been trying to block it out, but it's not always possible, is it? But I have at the moment. Thank you. I just wanted to say thank you. So anyway, but yes, it would be Linda. Yes, Denise, it is a good idea, and Debbie. I think the thing is, though, you need to know that it's all up front, because it says it right on it. It says this is not, you know, like you can get adverts that you've got no control over, and some of them pay you. You have to let people know. You have to. So I'm quite happy to do that. I've got nothing to hide. And I certainly I don't know. Somebody's mentioned $7,000. Well, I don't know where the hell that number's come from. Or the dollars for that. But anyway, I'm not going to go into that. It's quite funny. Right, I'm using the Amsterdam pad. The Amsterdam All pad it's for acrylics, but it's so beautiful to work on. You've got a beautiful texture. It's very good, quite graphic, allowing graphics to sort of be done on it. Good for gouache. You don't get a lot good for gouache. Gouache is like a thick watercolour that graphic artists use before they, you know, procreate and all that. So what I thought we'd do is, one of my favourite flowers is, I don't even know why I've done that in a circle, I don't need it yet. One of my favourite flowers is a lotus. It's got a lot of meaning. Thank you Linda. But I am up front, you know, everyone knows that. So, and I like the idea of us as a group, you know. There's people who do talk, there's people who don't talk. We're all equal in this group, and it just so happens that I, you know, do the drawing, but I'm quite happy if somebody else wanted to do a Moodle, but within this group only though, because of the law and stuff with whatever. But I like the idea of us coming together as a group, and I love the idea of this Egyptian feel. It's quite Art Deco as well, because obviously that was major stuff during the Art Deco period revival. So the 1910s, 1920s, 30s, they all had this wonderful Art Deco sort of prominence, and it is a wonderful period. Is that the one you mean, my love? If that's Claire, is it? Yeah, Claire, I think it might be that one. If it is, hi Emma. Oh, I'm good. Glad you're all right, Emma. Oh, Kim, you don't want to know it. Kim, you don't want to know it. Seriously, it's been horrendous. Well, anyway, let's get on with this. So, the basic idea is that we're going to create this beautiful idea of unity, and the idea that I'm in the wrong book here. No, it's not the wrong book, but should I have it that way or that way? Oh, is everyone upset that changed my book? Oh, so Carol, it's always on my page, always. I'm wondering, no, I'll do it there. Right, I'm just carving it, yeah? Might be a bit dodgy, but it doesn't really matter. I'm just dodging it. I'm just halving it by eye so that I've got, there we go, you can see. And I've just done a couple of lines. So the top flower, if we think that the top flower will be there, the second flowers will be there, the middle part would be there, the bottom part would be there, and the flowers would be there. Okay, so bear with me honestly. So what we need to do is just plot out. So the centre line allows us to get a bit of sort of, what's the word, symmetry. So by eye. Now this can be, if you want to watercolour this, go for it. If you want to Moodle afterwards, go for it. Not bad, that is it. It's pretty straight. At the moment, I'm not doing it for that. I'm doing it so everybody can do stuff, not just, you know, we're doing it. Oh no, I don't need to do that yet. So the next one is, I've got these lines here, and what I want to do is, that's too big. So what I thought we could do is just maybe, I'll see what halfway looks like there. In a bit so it's not off the page. Right, this is when you really need to sort of think, right, are they going to look right? Are they going to look right? And they won't at the moment. They look like forklift trucks at the moment, so that's wrong. But what I'm trying to do is just show you how I plot, and you can put as much moodling on this as you want. I just thought it'd be nice. Plus it's quite oriental. Blossoms are beautiful oriental sort of traditional flowers. But then we've also got, don't forget, you know, we've got the Egyptian star flowers. But can you see the shape of it? Hi Jane, hi Thelma. Hi Malcolm. So, this is when we can get our doofers out. I'll show you the set, you get a big set. So if you look at the shapes, you've got, I mean this, believe it or not, that shape is perfect. The inner side of it, if you wanted to get it pretty, I'm not saying you have to use this, I'm just saying if people are a little bit uncomfortable, where's that pen? Then this is quite a good little one to use, your heart, because it's symmetrical. You can just, can you see? So you could even, if it's a lower line, you do the other one. Just going to get these out because that wouldn't quite work there. Oh, you are joking. There's all my die cuts that I wanted for yesterday. I found the sodding things. Oh, I'll do another one though. Don't worry, I'm doing another one. I really enjoyed the mixed media. I loved it. Loved it. It was blooming great. Right, where's my shape gone? Let's have a look. I've got some more packed away, but I'm trying to find out. See, that's another one that can be used. Right, I'm overwhelming you now, so don't worry too much, but you can use your stencils if you want. So I don't want to, if people haven't got them, they're going to think, oh, I can't do it now because I've not got them. Don't worry about that. So here, we've got this pattern coming here, and then right, okay, we've got this. I'm going to change that in a minute. I'm not too... I think I'm going to do... Now what you could do here is put your circle back on. So if I put my circle and I wanted those lines there, I could just put can you see? Move about the crappy lines, so it's a bit out, but can you see how I can do the arms now? I'll do them again properly. So the first lines, why did I do the first circle, second? Well, it was to give you a sort of idea of placement, you know, how do I want them? Do I want them like that? Do I not want them like that? So it's really important that once you've got that centre line in, then you can ignore it or use it. I know it sounds a bit daft, why would you draw it to ignore it? But it's just, it's like a setting off point. There we go. Yeah, and then, right, yeah. So what I'm going to do is just put my doofer on here again. Right, can you see now how I can work out what I've got and what I don't want? Get me? Right, it's quite difficult. This is quite difficult, right? I understand that, but I also know that you can do it without a shadow of a doubt. I know you can do it. So it's not like me saying, oh, I shouldn't be showing you this. It's, oh yeah, I should be showing you this because you're all ready for it. So here we've got it's almost like a bullet. Not a bullet, don't even know what a bullet looks like. A tear shape. So that's it. So you can see now that I need to sort of pull these lines out, but they're only set lines. So we've got our basic shape. Now I need to put some sort of detail onto it. So basically we've got a centre line and flowers, lotus flowers coming out like that. We've got a centre one coming from the middle like that, and then I'm going to rub out these lines, and then behind it we've got this like lovely shape that I'm going to change into a sort of a crown. So then we've got, it's like an oval that sits just there, and then a line like that, and then this will be like that, so it's like that, and then these will be a little bit out there. So if I take that one up a little bit, and then if you want to hang on, I will draw it in, but it's not going to be symmetrical, and I don't want people to go, oh, it's not like that, you know. So look away if you've got OCD, because the OCD in me, you know, knowing what the students would be like, it would be like, oh, look away now, it's too much, it's too much. Right, so okay, so we've got, believe it or not, it's like eternal sort of blooming and whatever, doofers. So what I'm going to do is put some fine lines in now. Oh no, sorry, I've got to put the detail in. So basically here, if you think that it's got this shape, again and again and again keeps cropping up. Can you see, once your muscle memory comes in, you just have to, I mean, you can just then, and it's amazing how it works. You don't think, oh, how would your muscles know to do that? But they're very clever, very, very clever. So here we've got a centre line. Okay, now we've got another one coming out. Third one there. Okay, so we've got this nice, you can have them in front or behind. Then we have might change these because they're a bit flat. So you've got your basic lotus there, can you see? So the next one is, we look at the shapes we've got. So we look at this again. What? Can you still see me, guys? Mine went off then. Right, so basically don't be worried about looking at your work and calling it something, Karen, because what happens is you start to put, you say negative things on your work, and it doesn't help you, honestly. So it doesn't matter if it looks like a wine glass. That's cool. Don't you know, beat yourself up. You can be it's very off-putting when you do that for you to yourself, because you're already on a thingy footing. It's like when parents put kids in baby grows that have got like sugar and spice for a girl and then snails for a boy. It's like you're already sort of condemning them. So don't worry about yourself at the moment. You're like a bloody snail for all it matters. So we've got our shaping, right? So we've got 2 smaller lotus, 2 bigger ones, and then we've got just going to do that on them. We did that the other day where it's sort of for the lily. Do you remember the lily? Where we did that, and there's our lily, remember? So just going over on that. And then, so, that's not right, that looks well dodgy. There's the buds. And then in between we'll put some colour in. So I'm going to go right in with a pen, okay? I'm not going to be too worried. I'm not too precious because we can do whatever we want with this now. So the first thing is get some detail in. So I'm going to go with the first one. I'm having this at the front. And once I start this, everything else comes from it. Now I'm not going to have it too pointed. So it's going to be a little bit softer. You don't have to have it really heavy pointed. You can have it really sort of spear-like, but you don't have to. It's entirely up to you. So the first one's there. So what you can do now is you can put a rounder version in the middle. So now I'm just going to put that on there. Okay, I'm going to bring it in. Use a ruler if you want. One of the hardest things in the world is to draw a pretty decent straight line, so don't worry if you can't. I hear people say, I can't draw a line. Well, not many people can. Can't draw a circle. No, not many people can draw them either. So here, we're looking at the same shape. So if you get your 2 sides in, remember? So we're going to put our smaller ones there, here. To the edge of the flower. So that sort of joins to it. Okay, So this one's slightly different shape. That's good. I'm going to do that more now. Embrace differences. I think I always have actually. So here I've got a crossover there that I quite like, so I like that. So okay, so they're both different. It don't matter, it really doesn't matter. So here I'm just going to draw like a crown. Almost like an egg is really, but you know, like a full beautiful bloom. And then just drawing this round to get like a band. Right, so there I've drawn a bit like these, that way, and then flat bit in the middle, because I'm going to draw these in now. That's it. So now I'm going to look at it this way. It's like it's almost like a light, isn't it? You know, like a. You all got light shapes like that in the whatever. Going back to the day. So I'm just coming from there. Right, so if you made a peak tongue in it, don't worry, make a feature of it. So I'm going to rub it out now. Now this is really, it's not easy what I've just done. Very, if you've kept up or you're going to try it, even better. But this is a great emblem for a card. It's a great, once you've done it once, you don't have to keep redrawing it. All you do is trace it, scan it or print it. You know, it's yours. But if you don't want to keep drawing it, but what I don't ask you to do is obviously make out it's your own. It's come from me, and it belongs to the Moodling stuff. So we've got this really simple, quite sort of, well, you could say whatever one design it is, but it's that overall egg shape. And you can draw an egg, but I didn't know it was going to end up like that, hence, you know, having a different start point shape. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up areas that I want to create some images and Moodles on. So the first thing I've got to do is I've got to think, right, well, okay, this one is just going to have a very easy inside scallop. So all I'm drawing is the scallop on the inside. Now, and what I'm doing is I'm not doing every shape different within the one context of one flower. I'm doing one flower, one design, so to speak. So we've got that there. I quite like the idea of just Look like strawberries. I'm glad you like the storefront. And the only reason I'm doing it is it's not because I want you to buy whatever, I don't want that. What it is I get asked so much, where's that from, what's that from, that it just makes sense for me to do it, because then I don't have to do separate things. You can see what I've used. There might be other things you've not thought of that you think, oh, you know, that's a good one, I never thought about that. Simple design. It's a line. It's a very simple Moodle. Quite effective though, isn't it? And what we can do is we can sort of keep the centres quite simple, the flowers, the cells, so that we don't have too much impact. Now I'm thinking we could do with just drawing one from the middle at the back, which might be nice, but I'll leave that. I'll just show you with a pencil. No, I won't. Like that, you can just draw it in, but you might not, I might not want to do that now. So the next one is I'm going to look at the other patterns that, you know, I've got in my books, and I'm thinking, okay, let's do like a stitch. So it's cross stitch, circle, cross stitch, circle. I'm being quite fine with it today. I don't want too much. I'm not melancholy at all. What's the word? Calm. I had a really good chat with the boss of Studio Light yesterday about things coming, all the new stuff. And I'm really excited about it. And of course, what's really important is, if you by any chance think that there's something that you'd like to see, please let me know. And then, or if we're doing something right, please let me know. I'm sick of people saying when I do it wrong. Get a lot of that. But they don't tell me, do you know what I mean? And I don't want to know them anyway, because if the boss thinks what I do is good, then I'm happy with that. So if you do think there's extra things we need to look at, let's go for them, and I'll say, right, yeah, okay, that's something I can do. And if there's certain things you want to see, the only issues that we have got is, and I'll be very honest with you, is it's got to think about the stuff that's being sold on a Chanda. If I try and stay die cutting and stuff like that, I've got to stay with the stuff that's on it. So we tend not to really, unless you're bringing it to a channel, you don't really show what you're die cutting on, because you don't want to sort of get yourself involved with it. So that's one of the reasons I don't usually die cut. But if you'd like to see that, that's fine, I'll do it, no problem. Right, here I'm just going to do something a little bit bigger, so it's an impact. Now, many years ago, the lovely Diane Reevely I did a mini Ranger with her. So it was a Ranger U, because years ago everybody wanted to do that, and it was a great course. And I'm thinking it could be something that we could do with Moodling, you know, so that might be an idea. So here I've done the little fine stitches, similar but different, and then in here what I'm going to do is just change that around. So it's now the opposite to that. Can you see? Sorry, we can't focus there. I've set the focus at this distance, so it's set here now. So when I bring it up, it goes out of focus. So yeah, so here we've got where it's bigger at the bottom, got fading out, and we've got bigger at the top, fading out. Okay, so we've got a nice sort of patterny thing. Now I did have a couple of patterns in here that I saw and I thought, oh, I love them. And they were so simple. And it was and this way, if you've made a picture of like the lines, then you can easily just rectify it. So if you've like where it crosses over like there, I'll make sure, see here, I've made a right there, I'll make a line of that properly. So here again, they start off bigger. Don't be too caught up with the idea of them being the right size and shape and distance apart, because in the overall plan of things, that won't matter. There we go, hit it. There we go, to the middle one. So the middle one is like that. You can see the pattern. So the pattern's broken down into these, the same as these, but up. So there we've got one dot, there we've got 5, and then what I'm going to do is just do little ones. Like that. So the actual, and here, all I'm doing here is using the length of the lines I've used, and then just drawing real simple shapes there, and I'll do a more concentrated pattern there. I've got a lot of books that I've bought over the years, and I know a lot of people like to look at the books, so if you want, I've got another shop front for the books as well. Hey, you should, yeah, you should be listening to this. So in that one, I'm just doing the shape that I've got on the outside leaves. If you bring the same thing throughout and you make it part of the overall picture, it can't help but be right. And when I say right, I don't mean that you have to like it, but balance it. It needs balance, and if you're keeping to similar shapes and forms, that makes it balance naturally, you know. So here it looks like I could just do with a, see how that balances it now by bringing one of those out to here, and it balances it out now, and it brings it together, really does bring it together. So here we need to sort of think, this is quite like a crown jewel, so it's like the board, the bulb, the egg, the sphere, spore, you name it, that contains the element of life. And it's, I'm sort of doing it in a quite a regal way. Now, I know this is a very, to me, it's a very Egyptian looking piece of work, style. I'm changing it so that I'm doing it my way and making it a Moodle. So although the style is Egyptian, it is very different today. I tell you what though, it's not really, it's just shapes and patterns. It's just I'm putting it into a shape now. It might not be for everybody, but I'll be honest with you, sometimes I just think I'm bored and I want to do something a bit different, and that ended up, you know, and I'm sure it's not just me. I'm sure, pretty certain that there'll be other people sort of feeling the same way. So it's nice to be able to produce a picture, I think, because you can put this, if I put this in a frame, it'd be a beautiful piece of artwork once you put some colour on it. So I've just put some bobbly bits on here just to sort of bring this shape up. I might just make these a bit bigger. Yeah, I like that better. There we go. So what we're doing is, oh, I like that. So we're just copying the pattern that we've got from the bobbles or whatever they're called. So right here. Now I'm just putting in some like pearl shapes, or petal shapes, gem shapes. So more like a, you know, it makes it quite regal. I'm just going to put here, so it works. A bit of a codswell up there, so I'll put another one in there. And here I'm just going to put, again, keep it similar, using the same shapes and that, but change them slightly, and then the shape you want there. Now with this one, your Moodle, no time, you do what you want. You do absolutely what you want. But you do remember that it's no pressure. Please don't think that you've got to produce an amazing piece of artwork. You don't. We're doing a Moodle today. We're doing a lovely shape that is quite relevant to us as a group. Very relevant to what we're trying to do when we do our moodling, and that is chill, you know, focus on the moment, focus on getting your jobs done, and then thinking, yeah, it's okay for me to do this because I deserve it, I've worked hard. Or you might want to just chill, that's even better, but you've deserved this, and that's why we're doing it. You have deserved it, I've deserved it, I need it, after what I've gone through this morning, you know. Battling city centre Manchester traffic at any time of day is a bit mad, but I'd hate to do it all the time. Right, so it is good to be challenged. Yep, and it's not for everybody, and that's great. Even that's great though, because it doesn't have to be. It does not have to be the same for everybody. It could be that you don't personally like these colours, this shape. You make it a different shape. But what it is about you just letting go, getting stuff out of your head, having a chill, not worrying about anybody else. Don't worry about them. We're just getting on with what we've got. So I've got my studio lights, as always. So I've got my studio lights, I've got the Giannini set, and I've got the original set. I've got some core, I've got my Van Gogh and my core ones, and I'm going to do some nice watercolour on this, I think. So the first thing I'm going to do is clean my water. The first thing I should do is clean that blooming water. It's really manky. So I've just sprayed my water. I'm going to do quite a, yes, I think so. Right, I'm going for it. Right. I've gone with the gold, and I'm being really watercolour up to the edge in a way. I'm mixing two so that I've got a nice wash. Yeah, so you could do whatever you wish. If you want to put the darker one down here, that's cool. You know what, a lot, you just want to tint the paper. And then as we come up here, we get the lighter one, which is more of a lemony colour. These are all the golds. I've put these on these are a German brand, they're very good. I'll put the link on for you. So you can see it's only, all it is you're just sort of taking the whiteness off. And plus with it being quite a royal sort of thing, which it would have been, this emblem would have been very much royal. And that would have been really important. I think it's fertility in life as well, and death. So I've got a basic colour realm, and it's metallics in the background, which you've got a really softness to it. I don't want to add too much metallics because I want the metallics to be an accent on it later. And an accent is when you pick up a colour that is the main point and you want to sort of showcase that. So we're going to go now we're going to look at the colours and think, right, we have this wonderful white colour, don't we, with some of these natural. I'm just testing this out. It's nice, but it won't have what I want on it. So, right. Round here, very lightly, very lightly. I'm just going to put in some burnt sienna and wash it all out. I don't think I'll keep this colour like this because I think it's a bit boring like this. It doesn't actually captivate what I want. but it's a base for what I will put on. And then this is another base of yellow. I'm just colouring in now. I'm not actually trying to do anything spectacular or promising or special. I am just basically colouring in. So I just got like the base here. I'm letting it blend out. You could put your gems on this, it'd be lovely. So now I'm going to go in with, I'm just going to do some, if we make the element that is in browns and earth tones, what we can do is Hydro M, yes, they are different. So this is a light blue. So I'm just putting the blue. Right, now this is a little trick, it's really easy. A light blue that goes light to the top. So you grade to the top, and then when we're coming down to this one, to keep it in, we put darker at the top. Blend down, and we get this distinct movement. I hope you can see that. Can you see it? It's accentuated by the lines as well, so blend it out a little bit. In here, what I would do is just get very dark. Don't worry if you go out like that, who cares? Blend that out. So I would generally get a little bit more on that. I've not got a lot of paint. This colour I'm using is an ultramarine. So, and if you've got a bit over, so can you see how I'm just keep it to one colour but allowing the pattern, not only the pattern but the blend to work. So here we're going to use, I don't generally put all these colours in, but because we're sat there thinking about colour and radiating colours, then it'd be good to see how you can sort of bring them together. So I'm going to do, try this, more of a Prussian-y blue. See, my thing is you could colour all the flowers the same, but I don't really want to do that. I want to do it the same way. So here it's going to be Prussian blue, which is it's like a turquoisey blue. It's going to have a real depth at the edge here. So what I am trying to do is do the opposite, but the opposite. Like that. So you put your colours down, so light to the top here, and then blend down with water. Get rid of that, that's annoying me. So then we're doing the same, but we're doing it the opposite way, so that again it's that idea of creating unity through it. And when you're looking at something like this, even with a Moodle in it, you sort of look at it and you think, what is it about that? What is it about it? And you're like, and sometimes it could be that little trick of, what is it? There's something about it that's different, and you're like, I'm not telling you, but it'll be the fact that you've kept everything similar, but changed it. And then don't forget your black and white pen over the, I know this isn't your normal new Moodle, and I know people are not going to like it, some of them, but just try something different. Just try something different, honestly. It will you'd be amazed how it's like tidying your bag. It doesn't last long, but at least, you know, you feel better doing it. And then you think, well, I've only got rid of a tiny bit. Why does it feel like there's so much rubbish in it? So here, I'm going to put in a little bit of white there because I think it needs it. Now, the Chinese white doesn't always like to work quite strong, so you have to be sort of let it dry, be patient, and then come back to it. So we look at the blues there, and we can sort of see, right, well, we've got an idea now. Maybe we could use sort of more along the turquoise colour. Now, I have got turquoise colour here. So this is turquoise, as it says. Can't even open it. I'll use it from the lid. Show you the colour. If it's too much like that colour, I won't use it. No, it's slightly different. So here, paying attention to sort of dark. That one's pretty neutral in the middle, but these are going to be, get in, you little scallywag. Put that, no, I'm going to put that now, put it there. That'll be alright. Any bits like that, keep them, because that's just watercolour, so it reactivates, look, so don't throw any bits away. So I'm just going to put a little bit of colour on this. See how strong these pigments are, crazy. And they're very expensive, these. I don't think this is I think this is a £7 one, £8. It all depends on what series it is, whether it's professional. But honestly, you do get a huge difference when you're looking at your colours and when they work. Sort of like, yeah, I get it now. Because, you know, I can imagine that you're all there going, yeah, whatever. You're only saying that to get us to buy it. I'm not, you know, I'd love you to try it. Because you really do tell, it really does make a difference to you. But, yeah, I'd be a bit sceptical as well. Because, well, that's what I do, I sell on telly, so you're going to be like, well, that's all you do. So I brought that colour in now. So we've got what we've done is we've used the colours that we tend to use a lot in art. So by that I mean the popular ones. So we've got the turquoise, we've got the phthalo family, we've got the Prussian blue, ultramarine. These are all names you've probably heard yourself. So we've got this flower happening there, which I really do like. Don't screw them on too tight, because that'll really... So if you think about the opposite on the colour wheel now for this is... Oh, we've got these. Now, just be careful with these, because there's a lot going on here, but we need to keep them sort of similar. So what might be an idea is if we just bring a tiny bit of the turquoise to one. Or both. So I've just done it to the side, a little bit more turquoise, and just okay. Now the main colour to really make this pot would be orange. So you start to think about where could you put orange in and where would that really work. Well, if you wanted to make impact with these, it'd be with a pen, with a pencil, or orange on here, or orange on here, and then orange in the middle, so that you've got real impact with them. But what you can do, it's a bit tricky, but you'll be able to do it, no problem. I'm just going to pop in a little bit. Now this is a dull orange, which is a good thing because these are quite muted colours. So I'm going to put in a little bit of orange. Now that will make that pop, but it looks a bit strange, especially with that bit there. Okay. Right, so I've got the orange there. I can add a little bit more of my, too much. See, the pigment is so different, isn't it? Ah. Right. So I'm going to go back to the orange. Now it looks strange, I know, but bear with me. So here, because what we're doing is we're not trying to make it realistic. This is a fantasy flower. It's not a, you know, there's no, well, I don't know a flower that looks like this. So again, it's about your imagination. Right, I've got a lot of orange on that. It's quite strange. Right. So what we can do now is bring it. So we're thinking about how do we bring in oranges to stuff. Now we've got to think about the colours in between. So you've got to bear that in mind when you do this, because at the moment it just looks like a colouring in and there's nothing special about it. So what we can do now is add metallic to it. And if you choose a metallic that's quite near in colour, so if I bring in bronze, I am now changing it up slightly into something a little, it's not as brash as that. Right, can you just see there's a copper edge to it now? And then what I'm going to do, which you shouldn't do, but I don't care because I'm doing it, I just don't care, is I'm going to put a little bit of the light green. I'm not rubbing it in. If you rub it in, you know what will happen, you're mixing it. I don't want to mix it, so I'm just using my brush. Yeah, I like it. Right, so now you can see you've got the colours mixing on their own. You're not actually doing much to them. You see, there's the green and the orange again. I'll do a bit here and show you. See? You get a beautiful sort of merge with it. If you get like a bit mucky like that, don't worry, just take a little bit off, let it dry and put some more on. So that's how you get like a nice fix in it with metallic. So the next thing is you could sort of just go back over this bit here. Metallics are different because they're transparent, so you get a layer. I hope you can see that. It might look a bit weird, but the essence would be to use orange in these flowers as well. So here, let's see what the copper does here. I'm going to just put copper on all over it and then put some white and dark pen on it, because I reckon we've got a lot of colour happening here, and too much colour will just make it'll just look like a pig's ear. Not that there's anything wrong with a pig's ear. But down here now I can pick some greens and oranges together. So here, see, I've got the orange on my brush, so it's already mixing, which is lovely. This is tricky stuff, this isn't like 5-minute colouring in jobs. This, if you can follow this and get the idea, you don't have to like it. There might be a part of it you might like that bit, great, just do that bit, don't matter about anything else. I'm just showing you different ways of doing it. And then I'm just going to put orange in there as well. So as you can, oh, missed a bit. Oh, I'll do it in a minute. So as you can see, a tiny bit of now this is the quin. You can see how strong this tiny bit is. You know, you've got to be really. So if I just put so even though we've got orange and blue, which are mad colours together, they'll work because they're opposite each other. So that's the beauty of being able to know a little bit about colour. This is very much a graphic design. It's made more into like the posters or stuff like that. Great for pillowcases, cushion covers, you know, stuff like that. What I am going to do now is bring a warmth to it. Now, it sounds a bit strange that, but it looks a bit odd. So I'm going to get a fat brush, right? And I'm going to get the quin I was using. I've got to test it before I use it because it's way too strong. So that's it. Now I'm doing it quite near it. And I'm grounding it a little bit, and then as it goes out I get my gold into it again. I'm just giving it a little bit more depth at the bottom, can you see? And that gold still, because it's a watercolour that I've used, is still movable. And if it isn't, just get a bit more. Can you see how it's bringing it down a little bit? Now what you can do, and this is tricky, don't have to do this. If you feel that it's going to go Pete Tong, don't do it. Right, just there, tiny bit of blue. There we go. It's just brought it down. It will dry better than that. So here what we're going to do is we're going to put in a little bit of the blue that we've got just to bring, but we're going to blend it so it's not like a sore thumb, as my mum would say. Look out like a sore thumb. So it's just blended in. I want it to look like an Egyptian ornament or an Egyptian sort of beautiful emblem that they'd have, but with the Moodles on it, which is mainly what we do, and sort of adding our own lovely designs or ideas. So now all I'm doing is I'm going in with the tip of my brush and I'm just doing the innermost edges. I might do one further away, so that's it. So we've got that softer design. This is dry now. Woohoo, it's dry. Yay. Right, so now what I'm going to do is my favourite bit, and I hope I've got time and I don't care because I'm doing it, is adding a bit of, let me move my stuff around because it's got all blooming, it's going to get trashed. Oh, do you know what? Don't matter what I do, I make a mess. It drives me completely bananas. I can't be tidy. I try, but honestly, it never works. It just, it's tidy for a couple of minutes and then it's back to normal and you're like, why did I even bother? A bit like my handbag's like that. The handbag's terrible. Tidy for 10 minutes. Right, here, I've got my pens. I'm going to shut these down. Come on, get back in. That won't do anything. Watercolours away. Don't forget you've got your coloured pencils. That's another good one. So let's look at how we've done this now. Yes, exactly. All right, see you later. I know people have to go at 1. I think there's other people doing lives as well, so I don't know what time they're doing, but I tend to stick to my own little world now. Our moodling world, not worrying about anybody else. I don't want to get embroiled. I'll use this one because they don't seem to be put away. There we go. Right, just these little bits of colour now create absolutely stunning little design. So you don't know if I want that there. No, that's the wrong colour for that. So I'm looking at that. I like this. I'm just going to put on where it's very dark on the blue and breaking it up with the white. So I'll just show you what I mean. Just going over those details that we've not seen. And then this one I'd do from there. Like that. And then again there. But I would go back in with the black. So you can see I'm just breaking all that pattern up. But I am going to go and then go back in with a pen later. So I've done that one. Just going to do some white ones here. And this pen, it doesn't completely cover, so you can still see the underneath. That's why I'm going over it all and not sort of paying too much attention to neatness. But it does cover a bit. I haven't got my Poscas out. I should really get them out. I'm hoping to have a Posca show because you can do so much with them. And then I'm not going to do that. I don't like that. Right, so I've got another colour. You know, I don't know whether this will work, but you just, oh yes, that's better. So you need to give this time to dry so that by the time it dries you've got that contrast between the matte paper and the metallics that you've got on it, because at the moment the paper's slightly damp, and these don't mind these two. These are the Pen Toucher by Sakura. These don't mind it if it's too don't like it too wet, but they're not that worried. I'll show you up there. Can you see that one in the middle looks duff? And that's because it was wet. So then I'm going to put in, just let me fix this. Should do it. Don't pump it because you'll ruin it. I'll bring it up closer to show you. So here, I'm not doing them all, I'm just doing one or two. And if I bring it up to show you, can you see? So you've got they will dry. Very fine, and it's sort of, you know, where you need it. You might want to put it in between your flowers there. So you've got another half an hour, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever you want to do, by just finishing the detailing off with gold and silver pens, because that's what brings all these things together, is the detail. It's not, the drawing's brilliant, yeah, you enjoy doing that, but the detail really adds to it now. So you're like, right, I get it now. I understand why that looks like that, why that doesn't look like that. You can draw your lines in now with your gold and silver, like here. But having that colour underneath is really important, and I'll tell you why. Because if you miss any, you can't see it then. You see? So, just going to put some dots there, not a lot, don't need a lot. I get overkill with dots. I go dotty all over and it's just overkill. So I'll put some on there. I'm going to change my colour up now because I'm going to go with a silver. If it works, give it a, yeah, hope so. And here what we can do, because that's like the mother, and then we could have the two where it's just the dots. And we have the two like family members or clan or family or tribe or whatever the emblem says to you, and just do your own little dots around that. So although you can't see them, you can when you do that. You've got a real, don't forget you can do a dot within a dot as well. So don't forget, these look brilliant if you outline them as well with black. There we go. So here what we can do is just put, and if you've made a right dog's ear, don't matter because you've just gone over all of it. It doesn't look like that when you do it, you know what I mean? It looks, when you do it you think, oh. But when you put the whole thing together, it's like, right, I get that now. And here, this has been really different today. It's got a different meaning to it, a different vibe, a different feeling. It's about unity and, getting you to sort of think about different shapes, patterns, textures, gold and silver, and how many layers it will take, because I've done pencil, pen, paint, metallic paint, pencils again, black liner. You do, it's just, your drawing is just the start, because then when you start to do your lines over it, and you can do all, your bits, they're not very great, they're not great at drawing on everything, so just be warned, but so all the lines help, the little dots help, the grounding of it has now helped with the blue, and then all these here, these could do another line on them. Show you what I mean. Can you see that one? How I've outlined it. It's now got a better presence to it than that. Just draw it in on one side. So if I was to draw around these, off the edge of my, I've got another shape. So this is very simple Moodles, but very sort of the moment for me. It's about tranquility and finding time and chilling and being with others, but on your own. There's a very big difference to being on your own. There's a very big difference to it. It's not a lonely feeling, it's a nice tranquil on your own. So I'm just going to show you what I'm going to do here. I've got a 0.05 pen. I'm just trying to tidy up as I go because there's no room here. I think it's great being here because I have to tidy up. What's news? Yes, somebody told me that. So here, it's like, Just right in here. So there, I'm just journaling round it. So what I've done is just drawing round it and saying hello to the beauty and strength of Mother Nature. Her arms are open to allow growth, but remember actions have consequences and only can be yet away with knowledge. The Egyptians, see, I'm just going off on one now, held great beliefs and ideas of visual, pictorial images. They right, so I'm not going to go anymore because I'm just waffling, but basically it's very, it's hardly noticeable, but it just really opens it up. So if right, just put there, open your arms to Mother Nature, and it's just lovely. Now, if you were to do this on your own work, my tip for journaling is, if you don't want people to read it, then you don't put any commas, any full stops, anything, and people can't read it then. So I've wrote the same thing on both, open your arms to Mother Nature, and it just looks like part of it. You don't need to do journaling in a traditional way of like, yeah, tick, tick, tick. I mean, I think I would do like around here, just to show you one. Right, you can't read that, and I've written all my stuff in there, and you can't read it. So that's what we want. So my room for 5-10 minutes just to carry on my journaling, and then I've got to do my storefront. So thank you very much. I won't see you tomorrow. However, you ready? It's Lou v Lou, 12:30. Craft Craft World. Okay, so me and Lou, Lucy, we, Crash Dash tomorrow we've got a craft off. Alright, so I will see you Saturday on my channel, on my bit, whatever it is. But I'll see you Craft Stash if you fancy, Craft World if you fancy it tomorrow. So there you go. It's an integral part of how I journal. I love the fact that it's very personal and very different. And if you didn't enjoy that, well, I'll be honest with you, there's hundreds of videos now I've done over the last year that you could maybe do one of them instead. So they're all out there ready for you. You just got to go and have a look. And it's louwithers.wixsite.com. That's my website. And also got all the other doodles and bits and bobs. And my Amazon is coming shortly. So thank you very much. Take care.